Good morning. Welcome to Virtual Path Day. This session is to meet the faculty in the academic and career path, education, government, and human services. I'm joined here today by Professor Stephen Murray and Professor Walter Oriana. And we'll begin with Professor Murray. Professor Murray, how are you today?
I'm doing excellent, Jessica. Thank you for having me here today.
You're welcome. Thanks for being with us. If we could start and have you introduce yourself, your name, and what courses you teach.
Sure. My name's Steve Murray. I'm a professor in the Criminal Justice and Legal Studies Department. I've been at the college roughly 30 years, 27 years full-time. I'm the chairman of the department, and I teach. We have two programs, a law enforcement program and a paralegal program. I predominantly teach in the law enforcement program. My background, I've been an attorney for 35 years, and for about 7 of those 35 years, I was a prosecutor in the Attorney General's office, handling all kinds of cases, homicide cases, sexual assault cases, you name it, did at trials and whatnot. And my faculty have similar backgrounds.
Thank you very much. What programs are your courses a part of? Is it, the criminal justice programs and paralegal? Are there multiple in those areas?
Yes, the name of our department is Criminal Justice and Legal Studies. We are we have a law enforcement program geared towards people who are looking for careers in law enforcement, and that's a wide range of careers. There are over 18,000 different police departments in the country, all kinds of federal law enforcement agencies, private security. There's phenomenal opportunity and diversity. We also have a paralegal program. We've had both of these programs since roughly 1990, so we're not new to the game. And very successful. We have graduates that have placed in every type of career you can imagine: state police, corrections, private security, federal law enforcement jobs. We've had people who've gone on to careers as attorneys. They will take our courses pre-law. You need, of course, a 4-year degree to get into a law school. And so we start you on your path to that. And a number of people that have kept in touch with me have taken on careers in law enforcement or as paralegals, and then they're kind enough to let me know that they're in law school or they're out there practicing as well. So we've had thousands and thousands of graduates from our program, with great career success and a wide diversity of careers.
Thanks. That's so great to hear, especially in a multitude of career fields as well. So what drew you to this field? Teaching, of course, but what drew you initially to the law?
That's a great question. Some of us, it takes a little longer to search, our career possibilities. I think in my 8th grade yearbook, when none of us know what we're going to do, I think we were asked, where did we see ourselves down the road? And I put lawyer/teacher. I don't know how I kind of knew that, but I never thought I'd be a college professor, but I had a great interest in the law. The courses I took, history courses, English courses in high school and whatnot, not really drawn to the sciences as much. And I was, when I went to Boston College, the major I chose was, at that time, it wouldn't be today in 2020, but back then in 1978, when I started, 1982 when I graduated, it was the most popular major in college, and that was political science. To be honest, you come out of college with a political science degree then, probably now, not a lot of career opportunities. But I didn't. I went to college with the dream of going to law school. And after graduating from Boston College, I was fortunate enough to be accepted into Boston College Law School. And when I graduated from there, there's, again, lots and lots of possibilities career-wise. I was drawn to the litigation field to be a trial attorney. Probably only about 10% of attorneys are actually trial attorneys like we'd see on TV, like a district attorney, a public defender. Most go into the corporate world, the business world. I had no interest in that. And again, I wanted to, my family had careers of service as teachers, and I was drawn to that probably because of the history of my family. And I wanted to be involved in public service. I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself. Criminal justice drew me to be able to assist people victimized by crimes and to try to do some good for society. And then I had the opportunity to come to the college part-time as an adjunct, and then a full-time opportunity arose, and I was fortunate enough to be hired full-time, and it's been a great 27 years. I've loved every minute of it.
Thank you for sharing that. I know our students always like to hear a little more personal touch from our faculty, especially right now, since we get so little or no face-to-face contact. right now. So thank you for that. And just one last question for you, Professor Murray. What attributes do students who are successful in your courses or programs share? In other words, what makes a successful paralegal or criminal justice or law student at CCRI?
I think what I'm going to say applies to all students, not just students in the law enforcement or paralegal program, especially a lot of our students with the diverse backgrounds they have. The one word I think of is grit. You know, we've all heard that grit. You really have to be someone who, whatever obstacles you have in front of you, and we all have obstacles, you just, you know, you have a dream. I'm going to be a police officer, a paralegal, a lawyer, whatever it might be, a social scientist, a teacher, an accountant, whatever it is, and just, you know, that you really believe in yourself, that you're willing to do the work. I've seen many students come to CCRI who haven't really had the academic skills when they first get here, but they work hard, they have grit, and they improve. I've seen it so many times, and they believe in themselves, and eventually their dreams are realized. I got to share with you one quick story. I had a student who came from the island of Haiti, the poorest country in our hemisphere. And he was an orphan there. Somehow he made it to Rhode Island. And when I first met him at the Providence campus, his dream was to become an attorney. And he had, boy, so many bumps in the road in front of him. Didn't speak English. Again, not a great educational background, no family support. And I watched him just blossom at CCRI. And he took him a little longer, but he graduated from CCRI. His English skills improved. He went to Roger Williams University, graduated from there. I lost touch with him a little bit, but one day I opened my email, and there was an email from him with a copy of his acceptance letter to Boston University Law School. And a few years later, I saw that he had graduated from law school. He had been admitted to the Massachusetts bar. And I don't know exactly, probably the last 8 or 10 years, he's had a law office in New Bedford. So I've seen those kind of unbelievable success stories with people with, at first glance, might seem like insurmountable hurdles, but he had grit. He had a dream and nothing was going to stop him. So I think that applies to all our students. You know, if you really want it bad enough and you're willing to do the work, we are still the land of opportunity, as corny as it might sound. And you do the work, you can be anything you hope to be.
Thank you so much, Professor Murray. And thanks for answering our questions for our students today.
Thank you for the opportunity, Jess.
Professor Odiana, I'd like to move to you in Human Services now.
Hi, Jessica. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for being with us.
So my name is Walter Odiana. I'm sorry, you were good. So I'm an assistant professor here in the Human Services Department at CCRI. I've been teaching here for the past 2 years. It's been great. Fortunately, you know, this past semester, you know, COVID and everything, but it's still great to be here and teach online and learning the different, you know, techniques and ways to teach online. So a little bit about my background. I'm a licensed independent clinical social worker, and I'm also a substance abuse counselor here in the state of Rhode Island. I worked in many different settings, including hospitals, private practice, schools, and supervisory positions, and usually for nonprofit agencies, except the private practice, of course. I've been doing that for the past 10 years before starting teaching here at CCRI full-time. Right now, I am currently not practicing social work because of COVID, but I do plan on getting into doing some private practice soon after this thing is over. But I do volunteer at the Department of Health as a social work regulator, so I continue to do that remotely. And I also volunteer for the Association of Social Work Boards, which is a national and, well, and Canada is also included, where they regulate the social work licenses. So that's pretty much for that.
Thank you. And Professor Odiana, what courses do you teach at CCRI?
So I teach 4 different courses, one being, because I'm a social worker, Introduction to Social Work and Social Welfare. And that's a 4-credit course that also transfers to Rhode Island College for the Bachelor of Social Work program there. The other one I teach is Drugs and Human Behaviors, which is another 4-credit course, which also transferred to Rhode Island College for the Addictions program there. I teach therapeutic interventions, individuals, family, and small groups, which are 2 electives that also get transferred.
Thank you for sharing that. And what programs does CCRI have in the area of human services? I know you mentioned social work, but is that the name of the degree?
No, so it's an associate's degree in human services. And so we have the courses that I teach, they go into the social services, social work. So they have that kind of option, that track. The other track is social services in mental health. And the next one is social services and substance abuse. We also offer a certificate in human services, which is about 16 credits, and teach the courses that will go into the social services certificate for the program.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And so the same question I have for Professor Murray, I have for you, Professor Odiana. What drew you to social work initially?
Well, many reasons. So I was born in Guatemala. So my parents came here illegally, unfortunately, it's one of those kids that the parents bring over. After I got my citizenship and everything, so a few years later, not too long after that, I knew I wanted a career in either psychology or social work, something in that human services field. So when I was in high school, I guess my teacher, they weren't really supportive in any way. So I knew I kind of wanted to go in that field and either teach and do social work. And fortunately, I get to do both now. So practice social work and teach. So motivate my students, because I know many of them come from the same kind of background.
Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
What attributes do students who are successful in your courses share? In other words, what makes a great human services and then social work student, in your opinion?
I think many of the students really come with a lot of empathy. So they do want to help others. They want to see other people do well. Again, they have a drive to help people in the community, the smaller scale and at the large scale. They usually share a lot of their experiences, either personal or their family experiences that have drawn them into the field. But sorry, I think they usually know themselves pretty well. I know what they want to do by around that time. If not, they kind of have an idea, and either they want to learn more about themselves or really want to learn more about people in general.
Great. Thank you so much, Professor Odiana. And I want to take a moment to thank both Professor Murray and Professor Odiana for being with us today. And I want to encourage everyone to continue coming back the rest of today for our other session. We have one more session left today, and that is transfer information to Rhode Island College for students in education, government, and human services. And you can also see a recording right now of our Meet Career Services at CCRI session. And along with that, on the Pathday's webpage is a link to preparation materials for the job fair, the virtual job fair happening on November 12th. That's this Thursday. And that is happening on Handshake. And information about the Handshake platform is also available on the virtual Pathday webpage. But again, thank you very much, Professor Murray and Professor Odiana, and everyone have a great day.
Thank you, Jess.
Take care.